and welcome to the weekly review from Lisburn Distillery TV.
On tonight's show, we'll be looking ahead to Saturday when the Whites return to action with a home game against Banbridge Town.
We'll also have some details on some special events here at Lisburn Distillery Football Club, including the final call for our swatch draw competition, which ends this Saturday.
And finally, we will be catching up with a former club captain who is still playing his football in the Lisburn area.
This Saturday sees the Whites back in action when we entertain Banbridge Town in what promises to be a very tough encounter here at New Road Stadium.
To start our preview, if we have a quick look at the league table, we can see that Banbridge are currently sitting in 5th place, but they've only lost one game this season, and that was their opening day fixture against Moyola, so it's certainly going to be a tough one.
Games last year, Lydia, against Banbridge, when we think back, there was 2 games we played them, 1-1-0 on one of them, and we lost 1-0 in the other, so there's never maybe a lot of goals in the games, but they're always very tight encounter.
Yeah, they are. Banbridge are a very well organised team.
Yeah,
that's what I would say about them. They are very well drilled, and they're physical, and that generally makes for a very tough team to break down. But also a team who aren't exactly going to maybe score a lot of goals. I mean, maybe they'll prove us wrong this season. But yeah, they're just very difficult to break down. And both games, if we think back, the goal we conceded in the away game was an absolute screamer. From about 25 yards, and then
in the fog, everybody could just about see the goal
going in. Anything. And then the game at home with it, which we won, was again, it was sealed by a really well taken goal by Alan. And it's going to take a moment of brilliance. That's what these games generally come down to. Yeah.
We're probably a better side than we were this time last year, hopefully anyway. We haven't seen Banbridge yet, so we don't know exactly how good they're going to be, but certainly their league position suggests, once again, very tough nut to crack. Yeah,
and as I said there, they've only lost once so far this season. That was their opening day against Moyola, and we know ourselves that Moyola are a difficult team to beat. They haven't won a lot of games, they've had a lot of draws, but that just tells you, doesn't it, that they're hard to break down. They're well drilled, and they're going to be very much up for the challenge.
Looking ahead to the other fixtures then this week, as well as Lisburn Distillery taking on Banbridge, Sport and Leisure are currently sitting in 2nd place, face a tough game when they travel to Topenmore, while 3rd place Armagh City are hosting against a much improved Queen's side from last season.
And our game against Banbridge Town, it takes place on Saturday. That's Saturday the 16th of September, and kick-off is at 3 o'clock. And as always, we would love your support on the day.
And the coffee shop and the social club will be open, so come down, enjoy your day and enjoy your football.
The Lisburn Distillery Golf Day takes place on Sunday, October 1st, with prizes this year being set at £40 per person to take part, and this will include dinner after your round. Whole sponsorship is also available at 2 prices, either £200, which will give the sponsor a free 4-ball and lunch for his 4 players, or a basic hole sponsorship of £50 for ensuring your company name is placed at a hole along the course. Supporters who don't wish to play on the day can also attend the dinner, and this will cost £15 per person.
The closing date for our swatch scratch card competition will be on Saturday the 16th of September, and for those of you who haven't already heard about this is your chance to have a unique opportunity to have your name, or indeed your company name, on the sleeve of the Lisburn Distillery kit for this season. Entries into the competition cost £25, and further details on this can be found on the club's website or social media. So I understand, Lydia, we've already purchased our square in this great draw?
Yes, we've got ours. I was a bit disappointed that Fulham had been taken on the little grid. Andy Hill, what are you doing? You've ruined it for me, but that's okay. It's all good.
Chelsea were still there?
No, I didn't know. We don't want them.
We decided to go for a neutral one.
Yes, so we went for Dortmund. So nice sort of German attacking attacking team, so I like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Hopefully we'll win, but we'll see.
We'll see. Certainly be nice to see the LDTV logo on the side of the shirts, to be honest. But really, really good.
It'd be cool, but to be fair, whoever wins, it's a really
prize.
big opportunity.
It is,
I think to have your name, or if it's a company on the sleeve of your shirt for a season. I think it's a really good opportunity. And if you are interested in that competition, the closing date is not until this Saturday coming. As we say, the draw will be taken after the game against Banbridge, so you have until then to get your money in. It costs £25, and you can either email us on the address shown on the screen right now, or you can call into the club shop on Saturday with your details. But remember, the deadline's looming, so make sure you get in there.
Yep, I'd love your support on this one.
Next up on Lisburn Distillery TV, it is time for our classic distillery feature.
This is the part of the show when we get the chance to speak to a personality from the past of Lisburn Distillery. And so with great pleasure we welcome to today's show Ryan McCann.
Ryan, as many of you will remember, had 2 stints here at Lisburn Distillery. First of all as captain under manager Paul Kirk, and then later under Tim McCann. And he made no less than 189 appearances over his whole time here at the club. And recently Colin caught up with Ryan, and here's how that conversation went.
So we're joined here today on Lisburn Distillery TV by former club captain of Lisburn Distillery, Ryan McCann. Ryan, good to see you again.
Thanks very much. Good to be here.
You were captain, obviously, for the side. I know you played for us under 2 different managers. What managers at Distillery were you there?
My first period when I joined from Linfield, I joined when Paul Kirk was the manager. So I think we had four years there. A pretty decent time at the club at that stage, where we're kind of up challenging up the top end of the table. Then I moved away for a couple of years at Crusaders and came back and played under Tim McCann the second spell, which wasn't as successful.
Not as productive, we'll say.
No.
Highlights wise, what was the highlight of your time at Lisburn Distillery?
Hard to call, really. I think that the first 4 years, the first year when I joined, we had a kind of an okay season. I think we maybe finished 6th. But for the 3 years thereafter, I think we'd finished 3rd and 4th for a couple of years, which felt like a kind of successful time for us. You know, it was we didn't have a huge budget in terms of what some of the other clubs were firing about. But with a decent team and players like Andy Waterworth and kind of young Andy Waterworth and young Curtis Allen done very, very well. You know, so and helped I guess midfielders like myself making our bad passes into good passes with a bit of pace. You know, so I think the first period, and for 2 or 3 years the first period was fantastic time for the club, and disappointing the way I'd finished, really, from my point of view anyway, you know. So
as you say, there was some great players in that team, there's no doubt about it. A lot of them even still playing in the Irish League at the highest level now, so that proves how good they were. What about yourself now? Have you hung the boots up? Are you still playing?
No, I hung the boots up for a couple of years, actually, for about 2 years, because just with work commitments and back and forward to Dublin and across in the UK. But I guess I've felt myself, I probably had a wee bit of an urge to go back and play. Played a bit last year for Cumberrack. I'm actually back now with a few familiar faces at Lisburn Rangers with under Paul Kirk, and a few old teammates there, and Peter McCann and Nathan McConnell and Gary Brown. So it's good fun.
So it's like Lisburn Distillery form.
It's a wee bit. We're all a wee bit older and fatter and slower and all the rest, but it's great. You know, listen, I think try and play as long as I can and be as productive as I can and you know, see where it takes us.
Okay, listen, thank you very much for talking to us today, and all the best for this season for yourself and for Lisburn Rangers.
Thanks very much.
So that brings us to the end of the weekly review show from Lisburn Distillery TV.
If you would like to get in contact with the show, you can do so using the email address now on your screen, or alternatively you can contact us through Twitter or Facebook.
As ever, can we just say a massive thank you to each and every one of you who have taken the time to watch today's show. I've been Colin Hopkins.
And I've been Lydia Campbell. Come
on
on
the
the
Whites.